Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Unwind Design. Today, we're going to be doing a really cute fall tree with lots of little decorations around it. So we have our canvas in a vertical spot. We're going to go ahead and turn it to a horizontal space. We're going to make sure it's wide, and we're going to be using today our primary colors using our white, our blue, our black, our red, and our yellow. We're also going to use our 4 brushes. Make sure that you have a cup of water with the following brushes. They don't have to be exactly the same. I'm just kind of demonstrating them in case maybe you have brushes that resemble these. You can use them. First off, we're going to start with our large background brush. It's just a brush that can cover most of the background. It's a little bit big. This one's about 1 inch wide. And this is going to be our background brush. Next, we have our square brush, which is the same thing, just a little bit smaller. Then we have our round tip brush, which is a pointy brush. And then finally, some kind of a detail brush, really, really small brush. Okay, we have our water today because water is super important with our painting. Water is what makes our painting go nice and smooth and helps us save paint so that our paint lasts us a long time and we can do the whole painting with just this paint. If you don't have enough water, you're going to notice that you use paint a lot faster, and you're going to notice that it sticks and you see more patches of white. Okay, in order to cover up the whole thing, the water is perfect for that, to make sure that it is creamy, like sour cream instead of toothpaste. And again, the water is going to help it kind of smooth out. Next, we also have our towel. And that's about it. This is your setup. So we're going to get started first thing with our background brush. I like to start when I'm painting with my backgrounds first. And I like to start with my lightest color first. So luckily, this is going to be sort of like a fall or like a orangey type of background, sunset color sort of painting. And we're going to get, first off, a little bit of this water. Like I mentioned, water is very important. And we're going to add a little bit of drop to the side. Why on the side? When I mix my colors, I like to mix them on the side so that it's easier for me to use more color if I run out from the middle. So I mix all my colors on the side so that my middle has more color left over and it's fresh and clean in case I need yellow later on. So we're going to start making a line. This is the middle of my canvas. I'm going to move a little bit to the right. So this is the middle. I'm going to put my finger in the middle. And then from the side here, I'm going to bring a line and take it to the middle also of my other side. So here's the middle. I went a little bit to the right, made a line, and that went to the middle of my other canvas. From there, we're going to pick up this yellow. And we're just going to start to make all these little X's. So we're going to get a little bit of this yellow. Remember, if it looks patchy like it does here for me, come back and pick up a little bit more of this water. And we're going to start to mix it up in the background. From here, we're going to pick up a little bit of this red right in the corner. And we're going to start to mix it with that yellow. And it doesn't have to look perfect. We're just kind of covering up all the sections. And we're going to paint all of this top part. And again, I'm making little lines, trying to cover it. There's no up and down for this one. Just remember to take care of your brush. I'm making little lines or X's or plus signs. Okay, there you go. Just covering up all of this spot. If you run out of paint, no worries. Come back, pick up a little bit more water. A little bit more red on the corner of your brush, tiny little bit. And again, start to mix it in that background. If it's not blending anymore and it's too red, you can come back and pick up a little bit of yellow on that corner and begin to mix it in. I'm going to add a little bit of this red, and we're going to start to add that in too. And there we go. We're going to begin to mix in all of this background. Again, get a little bit of that red. And we're going to start to mix that all in. Again, go back and forth with a little bit of yellow, a little bit of red, and that way you get this really cool orange background. When you're done with this, we're going to put our brush back into our water. And now we're going to begin to create a light blue. So I'm going to get a little bit of this water, and I'm going to add a drop next to my white. From there, I'm going to come in and scoop in some white, and I'm going to begin to mix it. Make sure I mix all of my water with the corner of the white. Remember, we don't want to use all of it, so we have brand new white for later in case we need it. From here, I'm going to begin to add a little drop of this blue and a little bit of yellow. And we're going to start to fill in the bottom part with that blue. You can go light blue. If you want, you can get a little bit more dark blue and make it darker in the bottom. But understand, every person is going to have a different style. If your painting doesn't look like me, don't worry. No pasa nada. Your own style is what's important, okay? That you like your painting. I'm trying to teach you guys how to mix colors, how to use brushes, how to use water. But at the end of the day, what makes art special is you. It's your style. It's your experience. It's how you hold your brush. Some people hold the brush a little bit harder. Some people are really light, or some people like to paint in really small ways, really small strokes. Some people like to do wide strokes. Everybody is different. And that's what makes art so valuable and important, is that you guys are able to make it your own way. It does not have to look like mine. Okay, we are just using this as practice to learn and have fun. Okay, now if you want to copy it exactly the same, that's okay. But understand, it's not going to look exactly the same. I can do this painting over and over again, and it would never look the same because I'm not a copy machine. I'm a person. Okay, so no matter how much I try, this painting would never look the same. So don't be hard on yourselves. If you guys don't like it, you guys can always change it up. If you guys don't want to do it exactly like mine, you don't have to either. If you want to change it to a purple instead of a blue, if you want to make your orange a little bit darker or a little bit lighter, use your imagination. There is no boundaries on what you can do to make your own version of the same kind of painting. All right, and when we're done with this, we're going to go ahead and dry it. You can pick up your painting and pick it up and start drying it like this. You can use some kind of a folder to be able to dry it like this. You can use a fan, maybe stand in front of a fan to dry it. Or you could be like me and use a hair dryer. All right. And there we go. Mine's a little dry. It's ready to go. The next step we're going to do is we're going to pick up let's pick up our square brush. Okay. From our square brush, we're going to begin to pick up our black. So I'm going to get a little bit of this black with my little square brush, and I'm going to add a little bit of water on the side and begin to mix my black so it's easy to use. Okay. From here, we're going to go right in the middle, and we're going to put a nice big tree. As we go up, I'm going to turn my brush so that I can get a skinny line. Look at that. So let's try it. It's straight. And then I'm going to turn my brush. You see that? I'm turning it. Okay, nice and big. And then I'm turning my brush to get a skinny line. This is going to be a little hard for some of you, and that's okay. Remember, this is practice. How many times do you have to fall off a bike before you learn how to ride it? A lot of times, at least for me. You know, every time you try something new, in the beginning, it might be a little hard. But after you try and you try, it gets easier and easier. Okay, so don't be hard on yourselves if it's a little hard to do this. It's okay. That's why we're practicing. Okay, this is just practice. Nobody's right. Nobody's wrong. Nobody's better than anybody else. We're all just different. Okay, from here, I'm going to put this brush away and I'm going to move on now with my round tip brush. So with my round tip brush, I'm going to start to work on the roots on the bottom of my tree. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of water. I'm going to add a little bit more water to the bottom of the black, and I'm going to start to mix in more black. All right. And from here, we're going to begin to do the roots. And the roots are super easy. You're just going to make a line and you're going to make a swirl. Here's one swirl. I'm going to make another line and I'm going to make another swirl. And there's no right way or wrong way to do this, okay? I'm going to go in the middle and make one more. I'm going to go on the side and make another one. And all of the roots in the bottom of the tree are going to be swirls. Okay, your swirls don't have to look exactly like mine. Use your imagination. Imagine that the bottom of the roots of your tree are an octopus. Okay, and you're just creating a bunch of little swirly legs underneath. You can add more swirls on top of the other swirls. And look at that. Now we got a bunch of swirls everywhere. Next, we're going to come in and we're going to do branches. And you don't want to make a lot of branches. This branch, I'm going to take all the way to the corner. I'm going to get more water too. If you run out of paint, don't forget to get more water and mix it with more paint. If you run out, you can always make more. So here I'm making one branch. Next, I'm going to make a letter Y. Look at that. Here's one Y. Doesn't that look like the letter Y? That's all that we're doing with these branches. I'm going to make another one over here, a little bit curly. And I'm also going to make that a Y. Over here, I'm going to put one more. And of course, I got to make another Y. I'm going to come back, pick a little bit more paint, start off on the bottom left and make one big line. I'm going to come down the bottom and then go up and then whoop, get out like I'm driving out into the freeway. See that? So again, picking up that line, curving out. We're going to go out. Here's another one. Another one, we're making a letter Y. Over here, we're going to go up. Making another letter Y. And over here as well. You can add as many as you want, but we don't want to add too many. Remember that. And there we go. When you're done, go ahead and dry this, and then we'll be moving on. Again, you can use a fan, you can use a folder, or you can use, like me, a hairdryer. All right, guys. So from here, now that we have our really cute tree, we are going to come in finally with our detail brush. And this is my favorite part. We're going to come in and begin to add a bunch of different little circles in different colors. I'm going to get a little bit of blue and a little bit of white to start off. If you want to add a little bit of yellow, that makes your color a little bit of a turquoise. If it's too green, add more blue. If it's too dark, add more white. If it's too blue and doesn't look turquoise, add a little bit more yellow. Painting is going back and forth to find what works out best for you. And these circles that we're going to make are all going to be different sizes. Okay, let me show you what I mean. So it could be all kinds of different sizes. Here, I'm going to do like a dot. Over here, I'm going to do a big circle. Over here, maybe another little circle. And I'm going to go ahead and play with the types of circles that I do. And we're going to add this all around. This is so fun. I love to do this. It's the best part. You get to go and use your own creativity. And you can use any color you want for this, really. If you don't want to use blue, you can use purple, you can use green. Next, I'm going to get a little bit of the dark blue, and I'm going to add dark blue circles too. And I'm going to add circles inside and outside these big ones as well. Look at that. I'm going to add maybe another circle here. Maybe another one on top right there. Maybe I'll add one right in the middle. See, we're just kind of plain. There's no right and no wrong way. If you want to put your circles in other places, you can put them in other places too. It doesn't have to be exactly like mine. Play with all the sizes that you want to make. Next, I'm going to use purple. I'm going to mix blue with red to make that purple. And ooh, this is a nice dark purple. I'm going to use some of that dark purple, and I'm going to begin to add some circles and dots around this too. So I'm going to add purple there. What about some purple in the middle right here? And again, we're going to do the same thing we did before, but with just the purple. We're going around, we're going inside, anywhere you would like to add that purple. Next, I'm going to make this purple a little lighter. So I'm going to add a little bit of white. And look at that. If you add a little bit more white, now all of a sudden we have purple. Again, but this time it's a light purple. And mine's a little sticky, so I'm going to remember to add a little bit of water into that. And there you go, nice and soft now, which is what we wanted. Remember that water is the secret ingredient if your paint is too sticky, okay? We need to remember to add this water on there, nice and light. And we're going to add that wherever you want. You can make your own circles, big circles and little circles, just like we did before. What works out best for you? Next, I'm going to use the color red. So for the red, we're going to do the same. You're going to put them wherever you want, wherever you feel it's best. Remember, there's no right or wrong way. You guys have your own style, your own way of doing things, and that is perfect just by itself. Don't ever let anybody tell you that they don't like your art or your art is ugly. If it's your art, if you made it, if you like it, then it's good. If you want to learn other kinds of art, then learn it. And then that is more of the rules right there. There you have to follow more rules. But that doesn't mean that your art isn't good or valid. Your art is valid too. Again, what makes art special is the artist, not the painting. Next, I'm going to add a little bit of white to my red, and we're going to start to work with the color pink. White with red mixed together gives you pink. And I'm going to use this pink to also add circles around everything and put little polka dots around also. And now our painting is coming together. It has all these really cool designs all around it. Look at that. You can do rainbows. It's almost like rainbow circles, right? So again, we're getting some of this white and this red. And there we go. After we do our pink, I'm going to add a little bit more red. And now I'm going to scoop some yellow. Okay, and we want to make a nice dark pink, almost like an orange. So I'm going to add more red to my pink. Again, add more water and more red to your pink to make it darker, and add some yellow. And watch that color turn into a really pretty dark orange. Almost like a salmon color. Look at that. So pretty. You can add polka dots. It doesn't just have to be circles. Maybe you want to add polka dot colors. You can add a couple of polka dots around. You can also get all these other colors that you used to make designs in polka dots too. Look at that. Some polka dot in there. How about I make some blue lines right here? We can make some lines. So you can add all these details all around any of them. If you want to use your light blue, you can pick up your baby blue and also do dots with that. Okay. And then finally, we can use our white. And with our white, we're also going to add polka dots. We're going to add some lines. The final thing we're going to add is just a little bit of white on our tree because I think he looks a little sad. So I'm just going to add a couple of lines on top of the black. And I'm copying the swirls. If there's a swirl, I'm making a line there. Swirl, I'm making a line right in the middle. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Remember to add water too, because sometimes if it's a little hard for you, it's because your paint doesn't have enough water, so your paint isn't slippery. And for your paint to look like this, it has to be slippery. I'm going to add a little bit of that water, and I'm going to mix it. And I'm just going to add that mixture right there. And the last thing is going to be to get whatever color you want. And we're going to put our signature right on the side of it. After that, that is it. You guys are done. And look at how cute. Isn't this such an amazing picture? I love it. Super fun. It's summery. It's a perfect gift. You can hang it up anywhere you want. I love it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for painting with me today. I hope you guys like this class as much as I did. And I look forward to painting with you guys next time. Bye.